All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live with our end of day post wave report with yours truly, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from postwavetrading.com, home of the world famous post wave price trigger reports. All right, so we've come to it, down to the wire. This is our Take Back Friday edition. Will we have a Take Back Friday or will we have something else? Well, looking here at the Bitcoin futures, you see that this market has come off of um, the neutralized, and now the bear market has reclaimed the price action. We're now in a bear market with a bearish trend momentum reading, and we are teeter tottering on the abyss where Bitcoin has the propensity and the potential to drop well below 25,000 between now and 6 p.m. Sunday night into Monday morning. So tomorrow is going to be very important to see what happens here. But over the weekend, you got to watch this Bitcoin. Now, this is the future. So wherever the market settles tomorrow at the close, whatever happens over the weekend will not be reflected in the futures until the market opens Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard New York time. So remember that. But we are now bearish and we're off neutralization in the Bitcoin futures. Looking at silver, it's in a bull market, but it has a bearish trend momentum reading. We put in a short-term top, which is a new 52-week high, and the market sold off heavy today, giving us a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. Like I've been telling you all along, it looks like the market wants to test the range between 24 and 2250. All right, so really I'll say 2350 and 2250 because 2350 is the top of the Kumo cloud, 2250 is the bottom of the Kumo cloud, and that's where the market is headed. And it all started from this crash alert here, and now we finally got the downside production. Remember, we were looking at this, we're waiting for this moment in last night's video with gold and silver. I said, okay, we have the crash alert, but we haven't gotten any downside production. And I said, remember, the indicator leads the market 3 to 5 days on average. Okay, it can be 3 to 5 days early, and that's exactly what we got today. So it took 1, 2, 3 days, and then today being the fourth day, the market gives it up. All right, so round of applause for the PulseWave algo charts. Like I said, the system works if you work the system. You just got to be patient, let the trade develop. All right. And just let the market come to you. And then when you're in it, just let the market do what it's going to do. And you'll be all right. All right. I see a question here. John in the live stream says, Dex, are you looking at the possibility of China taking Taiwan and we sanction only then we have hyperinflation causing us to need to make most things back in U.S.? You know, that's a mouthful. I wouldn't necessarily put it like that. I think the death by 1,000 cuts really doesn't have anything to do with China going into Taiwan, to be honest with you. I believe that what we are seeing right now is the manifestation of the next leg of the cabal's conspiracy to destroy and take down the global economy so they can replace it with their new economic structure, with the digital currencies that the central banks control, all the way down to what you can buy and when you can buy it. Total control of you financially. All right. That's what they want to do. That's why part one was to come up with an excuse to shut down the global economy so they can have time to install the new one. And they did that with a medical emergency. Okay. So now that that part is done and they wrecked the global economy, the next thing now is to have the issue to come in and bring the new financial system. So when they let this one crash and burn, they can say, oh, don't worry, don't cry. We got you. Here's the new financial system. Here's the new financial structure. All right. And it's in, everything is in parts and incremental movement when it comes to the global government. So they want to install a one world government. They want to install a one world currency. Now, people are a little confused about the one world currency. One world currency doesn't necessarily mean one thing, like the world, like right now we got the US dollar as the global, currency, right? But there's still other currencies that people trade in. One currency means one system, one currency system, not an actual, like a dollar or a peso or a yen. It means system. Right now we have multiple systems. Like you have the SWIFT system, you have other systems overseas. The one world government and the one world currency is going to be the one literal one world government, where all the world, where there's just one thing, like the UN, or however, as an example. And then the one world currency is the new economic system, the structure, the infrastructure, the digital money, where they're going to be doing away with paper. They've been doing away with paper money for a while. It's just been done incrementally so that you don't really notice it. But if you notice, when you go shopping now, some checkouts say, no cash, only electronic. They're not accepting your cash. Now, the backstory and excuse they give you, well, we're having a coinage crisis, so we're running out of dimes, nickels, quarters, and pennies. So we can't give you any change. You have to have exact change. No, that's part of the system, to take all the physical money out of the system. All right, that is the process. Okay, that is the process. And once that process is complete, then the next leg is what they're doing now, which is the employment aspect of this. In order to bring in this new structure, part of the new structure is you don't work anymore. You don't have a job. Everything's done by computer algorithms, artificial intelligence, and physical machines / robots. Pretty much everything you can think about right now that where we use a human being, you can use either some type of robot or an artificial intelligence in lieu of. We know that robots can perform surgery now. We know that artificial intelligence can take the place of majority of white collar jobs. All right, just about anything that you need to do, there is a machine or a robot or an algorithm that can do it, and they don't need you, because the machines will never call out sick or need to go on vacation or show up to work late or have to leave work early. Okay. So it's a whole different structure. That's why the next part of this, that's why you keep hearing the Federal Reserve say we need to take away more jobs. They're saying that they need millions of Americans to lose their jobs in order for them to bring down inflation. Now, I'm just going to put this out here. At your own leisure, you can look into this if you want, or those of you who may already have, who already know what I'm talking about, then you'll know. But where in any economic book written prior to 2019 did you see that in your econ class, that you needed to take away jobs to lower inflation? If you look back in history, every example of hyperinflation or inflation that we had, or any place in history where interest rates were way higher than they are today, did you ever hear or even have it in print that it said we have to take jobs away in order to bring down the hyperinflation or the inflation? No. Employment and inflation has nothing to do with one another. Remember, interest rates back in the 80s was in the 20s, 20%, 22%. Yeah, those were high rates. And talk about inflation. We've been under an environment of inflation for the last 100 years. That's why a dollar now, today, is only worth about 10 cents because inflation has eroded its purchasing power. So this is all nonsense, and no one is saying anything. No one is checking them on this when they keep repeating this. But see, this is Jedi. This is how Jedi mind tricks work. You repeat something enough times, and after a while, everyone will believe it as fact because you never heard anyone, you know, saying this is nonsense. You never heard anyone exposing the fallacy of the argument. But they're saying they need more people to lose their jobs so they can bring down inflation. Inflation and jobs has nothing to do with it. The only reason why we have inflation right now is because they made it that way on purpose. They shut down the global economy. They came up with an excuse saying, well, because it's a medical emergency, we have to now shut down the global economy. But again, show me a textbook written prior to 2019 that said, okay, here is effective immunology. Here is effective virology. Whenever there is an outbreak of any kind, we have to put healthy people in quarantine. You can't find it. You won't find it because you don't quarantine the healthy. You quarantine the sick. You isolate the sick individuals away from people who are healthy. We know that this is a universal truth. We know this is actual science that they like to use so much, the word science. They love to use that word science. Even in the Bible, when a person was considered unclean, they had to be put away. They couldn't mingle with the people who were not unclean. You were unclean. You go over there. What did they do with the lepers? They put them out of the city. You go over here. You see what I'm saying? You want to talk about science? That's science. You quarantine the sick away from the healthy. You remove them. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump, right? So you got to remove that leaven so it won't get into the dough, or now you've just spoiled the whole thing. All right. So you remove that so that it doesn't spoil the whole thing. That's science. But they made you believe, oh no, everyone has to just be locked in. They told you that this is a magic disease, that you can be asymptomatic and spread it to someone else. So technically they were saying everyone's sick. You just don't know it. So everyone has to be locked in. Almost like they took a parody of The Walking Dead. Because remember, in The Walking Dead, everyone had the component. It wasn't until you passed away that the component was activated within you, and then you become a walker. See what I'm saying? See, they Jedi mind tricked you with a TV show to prepare you for when they roll that out and use that same skit. That's the same script, the same screenplay. And that's what's happening here. All right. This is a process that they are walking you through. And yes, they have taken control of the economy. They've taken control of the environment. They've taken control of the judicial system. They've taken control of the legal system. They've taken control of the medical institution. They've taken control of the military. They've taken control of your government, your state and local government, your federal government. They've taken control of every aspect of society. They own and operate and control everything. They control what you see. They control what you hear. If they don't like something that is being heard, they will simply deplatform, turn off, demonetize, whatever they have to do, even including disappearing someone or making it look like an accident or making it look like the person had mental health issues. And so they decided they wanted to make themselves unalive. They're willing to do whatever they need to do to make sure this agenda goes off flawlessly. Let's move on. Next chart is the nat gas, still in a bear market, still bullish trend momentum reading, and the market has these back-to-back rally alerts, but the resistance at 250 is really posing a problem for nat gas. Now, once it breaks out from here, it's going to be a buy, straight up buy, because it's going to go from here back to 10 and above. It's going to explode. It's just not time yet. It's building a long base. I think we got one more leg down. I think it's going to like come down to $1.50, but it's not going to stay there. It's just going to explode. So just be prepared. Nat gas will come alive. It's just not coming alive right now. It's just bearish. All right, looking at the Dow is still in a bull market, but still has a bearish trend momentum reading. And yes, we're right here about to test the 33,000 level. We're right there. 33,000 is the psychological support for the Dow. Just remember, if the 33,000 level does not hold, the Dow will go into free fall. It will be fast. It will be furious. We'll go from a bull market bias in the Dow to a bear market with a bearish trend momentum reading, and the market will put in a new 52-week low. All right. What the market needs to do at this 33,000 level, it needs to reestablish itself as a real bull market, not a fake bull market. This right here is a fake bull market. This is not bullish at all. All they did was manage to make the price action and the moving averages cross over. They made it. It's a mathematical manipulation. They made the 50-day moving average pass over the 200-day moving average and say, "Oh, here's a golden cross. Oh, we're a bull market now. The bull market's back." But you haven't seen the bull at all since this has happened. This market has been moving sideways for months, since December. I don't remember a time where the Dow has did this ever. All right. They're just keeping it afloat enough with the plunge protection team to make people have hope to think, oh, we're in a bull market and the Dow is going to new all-time highs, when it's really the opposite. And if eventually they're going to catch enough people here buying and catch them long, and then this thing is just going to utterly just fall apart. The only way to push the can down the road is to get the market to rally, but every attempt to get it to rally, it just falls apart. Does it not? Does it not? You tell me. Is there anything bullish on the screen? No. As long as this line is red, this bearish trend momentum reading exists, you're in the sell the rally mode. This needs to be green. The trend at the bottom of the screen needs to match the line. If you're in a really bull market, it's locked in, it's bullish and trending, then this is going to be green, and down here will be green. Like bear markets are red down here, and up here will be red, bearish trend momentum reading, because you're a locked in bear market, and that's what it is. But right here, this is nothing. This is a market with a bearish bias, and that has not changed since December of 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we have the NASDAQ 100. It is in a bull market, and it has a bullish trend momentum reading, and it's trending higher. I cannot deny the upside of the NASDAQ 100. I can't. At this rate, it's looking like it wants to go to 14,000. I can't say that it's not, because that's what I'm seeing on the screen. There's nothing bearish on this screen. I have to admit that. The NASDAQ is go, go, go. The last rally alert right here gave you what? Upside production. It wasn't a whole lot, but you still got upside production. It's a bull market. The NASDAQ is in a real bull market. I cannot deny that. All right. It's in this right here went from bear market to bull market, and you have a bullish trend momentum reading. This is what a bull market is supposed to look like. Green line, green. All right. NASDAQ is wide open and it's rolling. Gold. All right. So gold has a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading, just like silver, except for gold has been stubborn. It has not given you any downside production yet. The crash alert was here. And remember what I said, 3 to 5 days out. So 1, 2, today was the 4th day. We got nothing. Tomorrow's day 5. I think tomorrow it gives. And it's going to come down here. It needs to test the 1900 to prove that this is a real bull market. Because gold historically has always had a problem with 1900. As soon as it gets above 1900, it starts struggling. And we got a short-term top here after the new 52-week high. And now the market's just floating here like it wants to relock in on the bull market and take off again, which it could theoretically do. But because of this crash alert and tomorrow's Friday and it's a take back Friday on top of that, I think that's what's going to make the market give and go. So we'll watch and wait for that. Next up is the S&P 500. It's in the bull market. Still has a bearish trend momentum reading. Now let's examine this. So we had the initial crash alert here, right? We started getting initial downside production immediately. It didn't give us a lot, but it did give us downside production. Then we got another crash alert here. We got no downside production whatsoever. And look what happened. 1, 2, 3, 4. Today was day 5. No downside production. So that means that if the S&P is going to fall, it needs to do it between tonight and tomorrow's close. All right. If not, then it invalidates this crash alert here. And we have to wait for another alert of some kind and see what the market's going to do. But it's very tightly consolidated here, but it's still sell the rally mode. Nothing has changed on the algo chart. Next up is crude oil. Crude oil is in a bear market and today got neutralized. All right, so I think the market now is just on the way down with a crash alert today. I think the bearish pointer that I was telling you about, the 52-week low, is about to be taken out next week. So get ready for that in the crude oil. All right, new 52-week lows within the next couple of weeks is coming. Next up is the Russell. The Russell has done everything in its power to try to get a bear market rally going, and it has failed. But you got a bullish trend momentum reading now. Ever since the rally alert, you really haven't gotten any upside production, and it's just stalling out. The 1800 level is proving to be a very tough resistance. The second area of resistance is 1850, the top of the Kumo cloud. So 1850 and 1800 are solid, hardcore resistance zones for the Russell, and it's having a lot of trouble dealing with that. But if it gets going and we get a bear market rally going, it could cause all the indices to turn green and go bullish, and then we would be in a new bullish cycle, and it will be what it is. Nothing we can do about that. Next up is the US dollar index. It's still hanging down here at the lower end of the range. 101 is support. 103 is the top side resistance. Still trading in that zone, just flattened out, just flatlined. And we got a rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. So maybe the market's ready to vacate the lower end of the range and start testing the higher end of the range. We shall see. But there's nothing to do here. There's nothing to do here whatsoever. All right. Next up is the Ethereum future. So Ethereum and Bitcoin have come off neutralized, and we had a crash alert coming into today. The market did give just a little bit downside production, but we are in a bear market with a bearish trend momentum reading. The market has reclaimed the price action in Ethereum. You are now back in a bear market. Keep in mind you're above the Kumo cloud, and you got support at 1750. The next support is at 1650. If neither one of those supports hold, Ethereum goes into free fall, and you don't get support again until you hit down to like 1400 to 1350 area. That's a long way to drop, but it's very potential to do so because you are in a bear market. So be prepared for that. Looks like the bear market rally is over. We got a short-term top back here, and that's all she wrote for Ethereum. All right, folks, that is it. Hopefully, everyone got their questions answered, and I really do try to do those things. So we'll see what's up, man. We'll see how the markets close tomorrow. Tomorrow's close is going to be of paramount importance. We got to see how the markets end up, what they do, and where we go from here. And just keep paying attention and being patient. Let the market develop, because the trade of your life is coming. Trust me, I'm telling you, this is all being orchestrated. All right. And with that being said, remember, the system works if you work the system. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I am out. Everyone have a great weekend. Smash that like button. Peace.